Hello students, so this is March 2020 and this is the art and culture's first session. So I've decided to specifically restrict this session to India's nomination to World Heritage Sites. So basically there are two nominations that we'll read today and both of them are important, especially the first one. And we will read something in detail as well with respect to these sites, right? Starting with, so India has nominated two two things to the World Heritage List. First is the Dholovira, a Harappan city, and second some monuments and the forts of the Deccani Sultanate, right? So starting with the first one, that is Dholavira. So I think Dholavira you must have read in your Indus Valley Civilization, whether it be your art and culture initial chapters or whether it be your ancient history initial chapters. So you must have read about Dholavira, right? So the location of Dholavira in the Rajasthan Khadir Island. Okay, so two rivers flow Dholavira. One is the north and second is the south. So you have to remember the name of the rivers. First is Mansar in the north and Manhar in the south. Okay, seasonal streams. So it is one of the two. It is the second most biggest Indus Valley site in India. Biggest one being Rakhigadi. Now Dholavira also found mention in our budget also because government has decided 5 archaeological sites will be developed as iconic sites with on-site museum. Now if you have seen our erudite series, so in the budget third video where I have discussed budget as an aspirational document, we have discussed that one of the pillar was caring society. So within the caring society, they want within one of the pillar was within the caring society was culture and tourism, right? So within that they are want to make some museum things so that preserving the culture as well as improving the tourism, and Dholavira was there along with the Rakhigadi as well. Okay, and in that I have also gave a snapshot of all the 5 places, right? So Dholavira, so this is the location of Dholavira as we discussed. So two things you need to focus on Dholavira, two specific things apart from the architectural design. So it saw the occupation for 1200 years from 3000 BC to 1800 BC, around this period. Okay, and had access to the sea prior to the decrease in the sea level. So sea level decreased and more of the area, you can see the location, it's not at the coastal, right? So more land came above, right? So these are the two rivers as we're discussing, Mansar in the north and Manhar in the south. It has 3 distinct regions. Now in majority of the Indus Valley you will find only 2 places. One was the lower one and upper was one citadel, right? So this citadel was there and second was the only 2-fold division of the city. However, in Dholavira you will find 3-fold division of the city. So this is the upper town, this is citadel including castle and the bailey. Then there is a middle town which act as a transition to the third one where the lower working class people live, that is the lower town. So this is the lower town where the working class people live, this is lower town, right? These are the 2 rivers we are talking about. Okay, so this is ceremonial ground and you can see that, and you can extra see irrigation and the horticulture there. So Dholavira was in fact very famous for its water engineering marvels, water conservation. For example, these are the 2 rivers and they have built up some reservoirs, some check dams they have built up, some canal bunds, drains, all these things they have built up in that time. Okay, it goes to show the ingenuity of the people from the Harappan civilization. So they have a very efficient water conservation system, and now that becomes very important part of our questions as well. Now this question not of UPSC but CDS, UPSC but CDS exam, they have asked question which of the following Indus Valley was known for water management. So answer will be Dholavira, right? One more thing was there, that in Dholavira some mysterious signboard was formed. Now if you know that, you must be knowing that Indus Valley's sign, the language is not deciphered, which is in a sign form. These are the signs, so they are not actually deciphered, that what they actually depict. Now the archaeologists say that this was the gate and this signboard must have been there just to showcase, just like we have what is to be visible, so that whatever written is in there, whatever message or whatever is written is visible from far. Okay, so this signboard was present in Dholavira. So for example, a question has been asked in 2002. So they were ancient site and what has been the archaeological findings. So an inscription consisting 10 large size sign of the Harappan seal, it was in the Dholavira. So C4, then this becomes wrong, this becomes wrong. So now Lothal, you must have heard Lothal was a deckyard. So becomes 8 to become 2 and this is fine. Just to give you an insight, I think you must have done it in ancient history or in the art and culture, wherever you are reading. You should read the archaeological findings of each and every place and make a separate note of it, because they can ask again, because they've asked one horse wala thing, if you remember, horse thing, right? Already Indus Valley question, and they can be asked again. So make a very small note that what are the archaeological different archaeological being been found in this. Specifically focus on these two, Rakhigarhi and Dholavira. Okay, the biggest ones. After that, all these things, Kalibangan and Banavali as well, Lothal. So these are really important. Next, so this was the first our nomination to the World Heritage Site, that is Dholavira, and second one is the monuments and the forts of the Deccan Sultanate. So they show the convergence between the Islamic architecture and the Hindu architecture. Okay, so starting from the Bahmani kingdom, so in the Karnataka, then Bahmani and Baris Shahi monuments at Bidar, then Adil Shahi at Bijapur, and finally Qutub Shahi at the Hyderabad. Their Char Minar is there. So what you have to focus here, first of all, focus which this is in the medieval history. So I hope you must have done medieval history, Bahmani dynasty, along with the Vijayanagar Empire. Okay, so that is thing that you must do, and please focus on it. If you have not done till now, just focus. If you are not thinking to prepare medieval history, just go and read the Vijayanagar Empire and the Bahmani kingdom at least, because that is really important. Vijayanagar is really important for both pre and mains. Okay, so let us discuss one by one, starting with Bahmani monuments at Gulbarga. So they were in the Karnataka, Gulbarga. We'll see the locations as well. So these monuments were built in the 14th century. What you have to focus also the timeline. Okay, because they can ask you the question to arrange the, for example, they can ask you Char Minar, Golconda Fort, or Gulbarga Fort. So arrange chronologically. Okay, if not north to south in the map wise, especially they can ask you to arrange in a timeline manner. Okay, so this question you can expect this question. So Gulbarga was the first capital of the Bahmani dynasty. Okay, so it has a Gulbarga fort and a great mosque within that fort. So this is the location of Gulbarga. Okay, if you remember, we have discussed Hampi here. Remember? Right. So Gulbarga fort initially constructed in the remains of the Warangal fort and finally reconstructed mainly by the Alauddin Bahmani in 1327, 14th century. It consists of, this particular fort consists of many of the tombs of many of the people, not very important, but it consists many of the tombs. So what you have to focus, location, and second is the date. Then this thing that is your Bahmani kingdom's extent. Okay, and later on Bahmani kingdom broke down into Delhi sultanates. Deccan sultanates. Then so Ahmednagar, Berar, Bidar, Golconda, and Bijapur. Okay, and finally in the Bijapur area, this area in Maharashtra area, you can see the emergence of the Shivaji as well. Now Bahmani and Baris Shahi monument in Bidar, Karnataka. So in the Bidar area, you can see previously we have seen the location of Bidar in the 15th and 16th century. Some forts and these forts were built. Right, I have not discussed detail of this particular monument. Then Qutub Shahi dynasty and Hyderabad, where the Char Minar is there. Okay, so Char Minar was created in 1591 to celebrate the foundation of the city of Hyderabad. Okay, so they have Golconda Fort, Qutub Shahi Fort, and Char Minar. Char Minar I have discussed because Char Minar can be asked in terms of the timeline mostly, because majority of people know where it is situated. So in the Hyderabad, in fact, they can ask you the location also, right? So you have to keep in mind the location of each and every place, because if as the questions become scarce, many of the questions being asked, so they can ask you going beyond. For example, one of the map question you must have seen, they ask you to come from here to here, how many states they are passing, right? So on that basis, these questions you can expect, right? Okay, then right, so it was formed in 1591. So Char Minar, one more important thing you have to focus, it is on situated on the bank of the Musi river. Okay, so Hyderabad is also on the bank of the Musi river. Musi river is a tributary of the Krishna river, so please remember that. Okay, it is also incorporated in the emblem of the Telangana, for the state of Telangana. Okay, then Adil Shahi monument at the Bijapur in Karnataka. This is the Bijapur. Okay, so this is the location of the Gol Gumbaz. So we will discuss Gol Gumbaz here. So Adil Shahi monument at the Bijapur, 15th to 17th century. Okay, so more than 80 Small and big monuments are there, fortification, gates, water wing. What important thing you have to focus is Gol Gumbaz. Okay, right. So this is Gol Gumbaz, created by Muhammad Adil Shah of Adil Shahi dynasty in 1626. So you can see 1591 Charminar, before that Golconda Fort, like that, right? Okay, so Gol Gumbad means circular dome, and if it's I've not been to this place, but it said even the slighted whisper by someone standing in the gallery can be heard everywhere in the gallery. If someone claps, echo can be heard several times. Okay, right. Similar, it is similar to something in Imambara as well, in Lucknow. Right. So what are these World Heritage Sites? So India has around 38 World Heritage Sites to our name. In the last lesson, in the February month, I was telling you that please prepare the World Heritage Site if you find time. If you are done with your preparation, you have done everything, current affairs and static, and you're because the time is being increased. So what extra thing you can do? You can prepare World Heritage Site. Only 30 cultural and 7 natural and 1 mixed site. Mixed site is Kanchenjunga. So you can prepare all these sites specifically. Okay, it can fetch you at least one extra question, at least. Okay, so Jaipur we have read. The recent addition to the site was Pink City, Jaipur. In the future, these things can be added as well. Okay, Watch India is nominated. So they have decided basically 10 criterias they have set up. Okay, by UNESCO, and those the countries submit their dossier, and after it evaluates, and then some criteria, a masterpiece of the human genius, then other to superlative natural phenomena or exceptional in situ conservation, and many of the criteria there. Criteria are not very important. Okay, the sites are important in a cultural aspect. Okay, right. So with this we finish our session, very small session, only specific to the World Heritage Site and India's nomination to it we discussed. Let's quickly revise. So we started with the Dholavira, right? The location of the Dholavira, the two rivers that passes, the two seasonal rivers between which it was sandwiched, right? Then Dholavira, we read about the water conservation system. Okay, we read about the signboard. The question have been asked as well. So monuments and the forts of the Deccan Sultanate we have read. We have read about Gulbarga Fort specifically, right? We read about Charminar in the Telangana, in the Hyderabad, Telangana, right? Then Gol Gumbaz finally. And finally, we read something about the World Heritage Site. With this, we finish our session, right? Very small session we had. Next session, in the March Art and Culture next session, we'll have some other specific details. Okay? So, see you in the next class. Bye-bye for now.